Ok, buenas tardes, bienvenidos a la quinta semana. Antes de hablar de lo que van a hacer durante esta semana, quiero enseñarles que en anuncios hay las nuevas parejas. So I put up your new pairs. We do have one group of 3 for dialogues 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now for this group of 3, I've given you a choice of how you can do this conversation. Okay? The first way is that you can all meet at the same time and complete the dialogue 3 times. And I'm just going to label person A, B, and C. So A, being the doctor, will work with B, who will play the role of the patient. On the second time around, B will play the doctor and C will play the patient. On the third time around, C will be the doctor and A will be the patient. And I realize I have the reverse written down here, but I will change that right away. Okay? Or your second option is that person A, whoever that may be, can work out one time to do the dialogue with person B and another time to do the dialogue with person C. And since A will be doing the same assignment twice, he or she will upload the link that they want me to grade. So if they think they did a better job with B, they would upload the link of the conversation they did with B. If they think they did a better job with C, they would upload that link. Okay? So if we go into tareas semanales, your objetivos específicos esta semana, okay, you're going to be learning how to describe daily routines, which uses a specific kind of verb. And aside from being able to talk about it, you're also going to write about your daily routines. And daily routines are things like waking up, getting up, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, drying off, etc. Okay? And so you're going to be doing that both verbally as well as in a written assignment. You're also going to be able to distinguish between when someone is talking about things that are close by, like this and these, or things that are further away, like that and those. Okay? You'll be able to recognize and use, within brief spoken exchanges, words associated with the patient intake form, Part 2. You did Part 1 last week. Part 2 will be this week. You'll also become familiar with and learn how to talk about and ask for vital signs. We're going to divide this into 2 parts. You're going to be doing Parte 1, the first part, this week. You will be able to refer to direct objects by their pronouns and use these pronouns in order to avoid repetition when talking. You'll also be able to describe actions that are in progress, that are going on in the moment. And you'll be able to talk about how long certain activities or certain things have been going on or have been occurring for. And you'll use certain idiomatic expressions to help make your language sound more natural. Okay? So as always, you'll watch the welcome video that I'm currently doing. You'll have your textbook and corresponding My Spanish Lab activities. As I mentioned, there were going to be 2 quizzes, so you'll study the vocabulary terms, take quiz 1. You'll review the textbook about daily routines and reflexive verbs, and you'll have a written exercise about your daily routine. You'll also have a grammar quiz in My Spanish Lab. Okay, and then you'll have the vital signs, Part 1, where you'll study that vocabulary and you'll take the vocabulary quiz. You have your 2 dialogues, due Wednesday, September 14th and Sunday, September 18th. You will make comments on your classmates' cultural contact presentations that were submitted on September 11th. And don't forget to add and log in your 2 hours of language and cultural contact. So if I go into Semana 5, Capítulo 4, we will see, I apologize to scroll up, we see that we're going to be working on Capítulo 4, okay, and that will cover pages 100 through 129 of your textbook. And as always, you have a detailed plan of page numbers and My Spanish Lab activities which correspond to those within the Semana plan, Semana 5 plan, which you have a link here. You have a link here, as well as 2 more below. a reminder about the vocabulary quizzes, okay, your grammar quiz, and I basically have gone over all of this. So when I'm done with the video, I will place the link here. Here are, again, the other two places where you can see the Semana 5 plan. And then you have the quizzes on the vocabulary, okay? Quiz 1, quiz 2. So if I go to quiz 1, you will see that there is the patient intake form part 2, okay? And you want to study those terms. There's also, this is a direct link to where it is under the terminología médica, but it's the same thing. And then you will take the vocabulary quiz, which you will have one attempt in 5 minutes to do. Okay. Then you also have quiz 2 over vital signs part 1. So if I go to quiz 2, again you have a video, the Los Signos Vitales parte 1, okay, on which you will learn the associated vocabulary and you will take the vocabulary quiz. Okay. Here you will have 15 minutes and only one attempt. Okay. After that, oops, I apologize, wrong tab. After that, you have your 2 dialogues, 5 and 6. Okay, so diálogo 5. This is un diálogo entre un cirujano y un paciente de 45 años, un inmigrante recién llegado de Ecuador que va a tener una cirugía ambulatoria en la mañana. So you'll get in touch with your partner. Now one person will play the surgeon, and the other person will play the patient, who happens to be a 45-year-old newly arrived immigrant from Ecuador who's having outpatient surgery. Okay. So as always, you'll run through the dialogue twice. You'll include the appropriate greetings, introductions. The doctor will ask the patient about his or her name, what it is, how to spell it, deletrea, how he or she is feeling today, if he or she has some questions about the surgery, how he or she is going to return home after the surgery, who is going to prepare his or her dinner, who is going to buy his or her medicine, what he or she is going to do upon arriving home. Tell your patient you will see him or her the next morning, thank him or her, and then have your appropriate closing. Okay. The situation for diálogo 6. Okay. Diálogo 6 es un diálogo entre un enfermero y un paciente con la gripe. So one person is going to be the nurse, the enfermero or enfermera, and the other person will be the patient who happens to be suffering from the flu. So as always, you'll have your appropriate greetings and the full introductions, get the patient's name, how they spell it, what his or her date of birth is, and then I would ask how he or she is feeling. You also want to find out if he or she is hungry or thirsty or tired or hot or cold or sleepy, because these are all expressions within that second part, second half of chapter 4. You will also tell your patient that he or she has to drink a lot of water, to call if there's a problem breathing, and to be careful. Okay. So then thank him or her and have your appropriate closings. And don't forget to include vocabulary expressions you've been learning in the textbook. And this is a good place to put into practice what you're learning. And make sure that you react and comment to each other appropriately. Okay. Have the appropriate reactions. Okay, so if I go back, I apologize, wrong link. Then we have the practica escrita. Okay. And you'll see the link here. And so the practica escrita, it's a 15-point assignment. I apologize, I need to change the due date because it currently says June 12th. That will be changed. It will be September 18th. So you're going to review and study the steps below prior to completing the written assignment. When you feel comfortable with the vocabulary and structures, then you'll have clicked on the link like I did to bring this up. So what you're going to do is, what is your daily routine? Using all the verbs provided, write a paragraph in which you describe what you do every day to get ready for work or school. Make sure you include the times. Okay, and pay attention. Not all the verbs in this exercise will be reflexive. So you have a list of verbs here. Okay. I know the instructions say all the verbs provided, but some may not apply to you. And therefore, I would say use the majority of the verbs. Okay. Also use the following connectors on how to say first, then, later on, afterwards, lastly, finally, to help you in your narration. Okay. And so you will actually write that out on a Microsoft Word. Okay. Or if you'd like, you can actually do write submission and you can just write it within Blackboard itself. Okay. When you are done, either upload your Word document or just submit what you have written by hitting the submit button. Okay. Okay, and the last thing you're going to do, language and cultural contact presentation number 1, the comments. So this week you will watch your classmates' language and cultural contact presentations, and then you will post 2 comments. Okay, so if I click on that, the first thing that I'm going to do, okay, is, I apologize, the actual presentation was due September 11th. Okay, but instead of actually clicking on that, it may be easier if you go to Discusiones. Okay, and if you go to Discusiones, you'll see the language cultural contact presentation number 1. Now currently there's nobody in there, and that's probably why I didn't see anything there, and the link as well. But as soon as people have uploaded it, you will be able to watch. I want you to watch 2 of your classmates' presentations. You don't have to view them all, and comment on them. Okay? And you'll see you want to comment on what you liked about the presentation, what you think the person could do to improve their next presentation, and what did you learn from it. Okay, so you'll want to add that in there. Okay, so that is semana 5. So que tengan una buena semana, and as always, if you have any questions, si tienen preguntas, avísenme. Make sure that you let me know. Okay, nos vemos pronto.